A continuación, CPS Noticias.
Good evening. It's Monday night and it's time for CPS News with Jessy and Brent. News that speaks your language.
Good evening. It's getting hot outside. It's plenty cool in here as I've got the jacket back on, of course. And tonight we're also going to be featuring a follow-up story to that immigration story we had a week ago that I know every one of our listeners is going to know. And finally, some of our contestants came in this week from So You Think You Can Talk, and they did some voiceovers that we're going to feature tonight. So listen up, they're going to be super interesting.
Yes, that's going to be so much fun. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Brent. I hope you guys are doing very well. And yes, we're going to have some great voices in this newscast, so look out for those. We have a lot of important stories, especially about election here in Mexico and also other stuff. So let's get to it. Let's get right to the news.
All right, here's the headlines, everybody, so stay tuned.
Tonight, CPS Evening News will feature a lineup of informative and exciting stories that our viewers won't want to miss. Brent and Rodrigo discuss Mexico's election aftermath and its impact on our viewers and all citizens and residents of Mexico. Puerto Vallarta Immigration Office delays, staff resignations, and alleged bribes cause up to 3 weeks additional time as the new head of the agency lacks local approval authority. Disabled man forced to crawl stairs highlights elevator repair delays in Puerto Vallarta's UMA building despite municipal promises. Puerto Vallarta welcomes most beautiful ship in the world amid low cruise season, offering public tours of the Italian Navy's Amerigo Vespucci. Get ready to hear these stories, Laura's Leisure List, and more on CPS News Tonight with Jessy and Brent.
In our first story tonight, right here in Puerto Vallarta, broken elevators have forced a young man to climb the stairs on his knees, highlighting ongoing accessibility issues in the 5-story UMA building. And this story is read by David, and he is one of our contestants from our So You Think You Can Talk contest. So congrats, David, and listen up and let's see how he does.
Despite the municipality of Puerto Vallarta announcing plans to repair the elevators, individuals with disabilities continue to face difficulties accessing offices located in the 5-story UMA building. This issue was vividly highlighted in a video recorded on Monday, showing a young man forced to climb the stairs on his knees. The video exposes the municipal government's lack of foresight as 2 of the 4 elevators have been out of order for months. In the meantime, the municipality has shifted the blame to IPAJAL, which owns the UMA building, as they pay rent to IPAJAL. Nevertheless, the municipality announced that it would handle the repairs and hoping for a prompt response from Pensiones del Estado on other issues, such as the electrical system, which also needs attention. The Director of Maintenance of Assets and Custodial Services, Alfonso Alcantara Cardenas, explained that under the lease agreements with IPAJAL, the municipality is only responsible for the preventative maintenance of the elevators. This maintenance is carried out monthly by the company EMP. Major repairs or replacement of the elevators are the responsibility of the landlord, IPAJAL. Despite repeated requests to IPAJAL, there has been no response, even though the municipality pays over 1 million pesos per month in rent. With information from Carolina Gomez, David Herchak, CPS News.
That's a worrisome story for sure. We'll have an update on the situation at UMA should we receive one. Next up, the virtual winner of the municipal presidency in Bahía de Banderas with nearly 60% of the votes was announced, and here are the political details you should know.
The candidate of the coalition Let's Continue Making History in Bahía de Banderas, composed of Morena, Green Party PT and Fuerza por Mexico Héctor Santana Garcia is the virtual winner of the municipal presidency. According to the preliminary electoral results program consulted at 10 a.m. on Monday, June 3rd, the native of Bahía has almost 60% of the votes cast by residents of Bahía de Banderas, which is equivalent to 30,509 votes. Meanwhile, Jaime Cuevas Teo of the coalition Strength and Heart for Mexico, composed of PAN, PRI, and PRD, only reached 31% of the vote with a total of 16,207 votes. With more than 97% of the votes already counted, it would be an irreversible and overwhelming triumph for the Morena candidate and his allies, not only for the mayoralty, but they are also expected to have the majority in the council, as the victory of the 9 councillors has also been revealed. With information from Israel Torres, David Herchak, CPS News.
Now, we're about to go into another political story. The coalition wins all 9 council seats. Here are the specifics, and our second candidate from So You Think You Can Talk will read all about it. Here's Carlos.
The coalition, Let's Continue Making History in Bahía de Banderas, comprising Morena, PT, PVM, and Fuerza por Mexico, secure all 9 council positions with a relative majority in the June 2nd vote. Winners include José Octavio Valencia, María Elizabeth Rico Fregoso, María del Carmen Valencia Soto, María Isabel Delgado Rangel, Milton de Jesús Martínez Cárdenas, Antonio Flores Ramos, José León Olvera, María Cristina Morán Alarcón, and José Antonio Ariola López. According to the preliminary electoral results program, over 98% of the ballots have been counted, ensuring Morena and its allies a majority in the upcoming 12th City Council of Bahía de Banderas. With information from Israel Torres, Carlos Gil, CPS News.
Now, of course, it's time to focus on your health again with our sponsor, Hospital Hoya. Are you prioritizing your health and your well-being? Seize the opportunity to safeguard your wellness at Hospital Hoya, where a comprehensive range of services awaits you, like thorough medical checkups, advanced laboratory and imaging facilities, expert consultations with specialized physicians, and of course, around-the-clock emergency care. State-of-the-art intensive care and pediatric units alongside various other amenities. For further details or to schedule an appointment, just reach out to them at 322-266-1010 or 322-226-8181. Stay updated on promotions and exclusive offers by following their social media profiles. Remember, your health and that of your loved ones is paramount. Hospital Hoya, your trusted partner in health. And now from health, we go to a story about Puerto Vallarta's mayor-elect and his campaign promises for our city, read by our third contestant who came in to record last week, Maria.
Ahí es una parte muy importante y que también ustedes como medios de comunicación.
In an exclusive interview with CPS, Luis Ernesto Munguia Gonzalez, the virtual mayor-elect of Puerto Vallarta, announced plans to govern close to the people and the media. He stated he already has some names for his cabinet, will organize a gratitude tour in the neighborhood starting June 10th, and emphasized his commitment to stay grounded with the support of the community and media. Munguia expressed confidence in his victory, attributing it to the desire for change and viability in proposals. He pledged to fulfill the citizens' expectations and hinted at a governmental reengineering and cabinet design to address various thematic areas. Dedicating his triumph to the late candidate for Syndic, Dr. Francisco Sanchez Galleta, Munguia emphasized the importance of community guidance and media criticism to stay humble and accountable in office. He assured an administration with open doors and a commitment to freedom of expression without censorship or gag laws. Munguia thanked the Vallartans for their trust and vowed to work towards a government that they can be proud of. With information from Israel Torres, Maria Ammerman, CPS News.
Thanks, Maria. That was a great read. Now, in one of our most talked about stories last week, other than the election, this week update affects most of our viewers, so please stay tuned.
In a follow-up from last week's newscast, we reported that the National Institute of Migration office in Puerto Vallarta has recently changed its procedures, causing delays of 2 to 3 weeks for foreigners instead of the usual 1 day, as all documentation now has to go to Guadalajara for approval. These delays have resulted in missed flights and financial losses. CBS News found out that federal agents allegedly requested incentives to expedite processes. The issue started when 50% of the staff, including the deputy representative, resigned. The new head, Leticia Medina Sanchez, lacks local approval authority. Requests for an interview with Medina have not yet been answered. In response to the situation, Vanessa Perez Lamas, the Secretary of Tourism of Jalisco, commented, "We do not have direct reports or complaints, but I am aware of the dissatisfaction that has arisen. Let's remember that this is a federal government process. We usually find empathy from these officials because we have a high dependence on tourism, and they hope the situation is regularized to provide adequate service." Thank you to Carolina Gomez for this story and this concerning update. So the immigration story, Jesse, I mean, clearly our specific viewing audience is going to be very interested in that because I've used that office multiple times. I don't know how often you have, but it's usually a long line, but things get done fairly quickly. This is going to be difficult if things take 2 to 3 weeks. So I hope y'all stay tuned and keep watching about that story and keep leaving comments. The best place to do it, as we always say, is right here in our YouTube page, right below it. Ask us anything, make a comment, ask for more stories, and definitely comment on this immigration story.
Yes, like you said, it's a big problem for all of you guys. I don't use this very often, but at least they know the problem's there and they will be fixing it. So if we have an update on this, you will hear it here on CPS News. But now we gotta go on a quick commercial break, so let's go on that and then we will be back with more.
Back after a quick commercial break. CPS News with Jessy and Brent. They're back.
Welcome back to CPS News, the news that speaks your language. We have a lot to cover tonight, so honestly, let's just keep moving.
Yes, we still have an interview and more political news. Now, the current mayors of a number of municipalities, including Mascota, Tomatlán, Talpa de Allende, and San Sebastián del Oeste, were re-elected to 3-year terms. Notably, 2 are from the Citizens Movement Party and 2 are from Morena. However, in Cabo Corrientes, Joaquin Romero Bravo of the coalition Let's Continue Making History in Jalisco emerged victorious, beating out competitors from the Citizens Movement and the PRI, PAN, and PRD alliance. In Tomatlán, Daniel Ruiz Benavides of the Citizens Movement Party won, while in Mascota, the incumbent mayor Marco Antonio Rubio Lopez, representing Morena, secured victory. In San Sebastián del Oeste, Aurora Ponce Peña, also from the Citizens Movement, will continue for another 3 years. Similarly, in Talpa de Allende, Morena's Patricia Sánchez Moro won re-election. Thank you, Carolina Gomez, for this information. And now, a message from our sponsors. So let me tell you about Coldwell Banker. Yep. They invite you to discover Puerto Vallarta and seize an excellent opportunity with Coldwell Banker. They offer fractional properties in the charming romantic zone, providing great benefits. The fully furnished units ensure access to the beach, pool, and gym for your enjoyment. With fractional ownership, you receive a legal deed and the right to enjoy the apartment annually, either for your vacations or to generate additional income through rentals. All of this starting from just 300,000 pesos with financing options available. Create unforgettable memories in Puerto Vallarta with Coldwell Banker La Costa. Get more details by visiting onebeachstreetpv.com.
So how fun has it been today? We've heard our So You Think You Can Talk folks that came in and recorded.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you again. And that was really fun to hear them. And so thank you so much again. Those were awesome. But now we're getting close to one of our favorite segments.
Oh yes, we are going to Laura's Leisure.
Or Leisure.
Leisure.
List. Leisure. I don't know,
List.
Richard did it. Leisure List.
Get ready for what's happening this week with Laura's Leisure List.
Thanks, team. I'm excited to share some awesome events coming up this week in Vallarta and Bahía de Banderas. Promotora LARX invites you to register and participate in the Mexican Beach Volleyball Championship, Puerto Vallarta. The event will be held from June 14th to 16th at Holy Beach and offers a fantastic prize pool of 75,000 pesos. Admission is free. We look forward to seeing you there. And the countdown continues. Only 6 days left for the Rancho Madre Tierra official bike race. The race takes place on June 16th. For more information, visit the Rancho Madre Tierra Facebook page. Come and visit the Vallarta Botanical Garden. It's low season, and on Sundays there will be 2-for-1 admission. Don't hesitate. Come and enjoy this beautiful place. If you love cinematography, pay attention. From June 14th to 17th, don't miss the most anticipated event of the year, the Puerto Vallarta International Film Festival 2024. El Centro Universitario de la Costa and the Puerto Vallarta International Film Festival in its 24th edition invite you. Look for them on social media as FICPV Puerto Vallarta to discover the exciting program and this year's special guests. For more details, visit ficpv.udg.mx. This will be an unforgettable cinematic experience that you won't want to miss. Hope you enjoyed that list of events going on this week in Vallarta. Back to you guys for more news.
Thanks, Laura. Another great week of events. We had such a great time celebrating Asphalt Radio and Radiante 98.3 FM's anniversary last Friday at Roxy Rock House. Thanks to all of you that came out to celebrate with us, as well as the official Gen Expats PD event that was beachfront on Saturday. What a great week. It sounds like we have another great week of events coming up. Now let's get automated. How about some tech talk from Brent with our sponsor, Savvy Control Home.
Well, thank you, Jesse. Now, are you tired of dealing with high utility bills when you rent your vacation apartments or Airbnb property? Did you know that you can easily oversee your home's lighting, air conditioning, and security from anywhere? With Savvy Control Home, you can achieve significant savings in the long run. Take control of your home's automation and manage it remotely. Visit their location at Carretera Punta de Mita, kilometer 1.5 Local 9, which is right at the entrance of La Cruz, or just contact them at 329-114-923 for more information. Simplify your life with Savvy Control Home. Now, next up, Puerto Vallarta will soon host the most beautiful ship in the world. Now, I kind of wondered myself, how was that decided? Did they have like a boat beauty pageant or something like that? However, it was decided the boat's going to look great and you can tour the ship. And here is Laura with all the details.
Puerto Vallarta is currently experiencing its low season for international cruises. This June, the city's national port system has scheduled 4 arrivals. Notably, the Italian Navy's training ship Amerigo Vespucci, hailed as the most beautiful ship in the world, will make visit from June 18th to 23rd. This majestic ship, with a crew of approximately 400 naval cadets, will offer guided tours. The first cruise ship to arrive this month will be the Carnival Panorama on June 11th. This ship will return on June 18th, accompanied by the Navigator of the Seas and the Amerigo Vespucci, which will remain docked until Sunday, June 23rd. The final arrival for June will be the Carnival Panorama on Tuesday, June 25th. It's worth noting that Puerto Vallarta will host the Amerigo Vespucci, currently in the second stage of a world tour that began in June 2023. This tour will see the ship sailing through 3 oceans and docking in 28 countries over 20 months. Guided tours of the Amerigo Vespucci will start on Thursday, June 20th, for local schools in Puerto Vallarta. Public tours will be available on Friday, June 21st and Saturday, June 22nd, accommodating groups of up to 50 people starting at 10 a.m. Designed in 1930 by Francesco Rotundi, the Amerigo Vespucci has been instrumental in training officers, non-commissioned officers, and sailors. The ship measures 101 meters in length and 15.5 meters in width, with a capacity for approximately 400 sailors. Weighing 4,000 tons, the ship is powered by up to 26 sails distributed across its 3 masts, the tallest of which is 50 meters high. It also features diesel engines. With information from Brenda Beltran, Laura Lane, CPS News.
Well, we'll be doing that for sure. Now here's Brent with one of our most popular segments, our interview, and today he's with Rodrigo again, our local CPS political expert, as we have lots of post-election insight to share with our viewers.
Thank you so much, Jesse. And now it's time for our third in our series of political interviews with Rodrigo Lopez. I want to welcome him back. I know we don't have a ton of time, so let's dive in, but you've been so helpful so far in helping to untie the politics. We'd love to hear more.
Oh, thanks, Brent, for the invitation to CPS News. Well, let me tell you that I will remark the great participation rate of 60% of the voters. And as you've heard or you've read, the losing politics and parties are arguing there were bad things on the count of votes. So they are asking for a recount. That's a very normal procedure in the Mexican election laws, which they are entitled. So they have this right, and there's going to be a recount on some of the places of the number of votes they consider there were irregularities. But this is completely normal, and they, of course, are forced to show the evidence of those things they consider are irregularities.
Okay, so which party are we talking about specifically? Like which one's being recounted? It's not the president, it's not our mayor, it's the governor, right?
Mainly in the governor election, because it was a closer election. Mm-hmm. There's only less than 4 points between the winner, Pablo Lemus, and the second place, Claudia Delgadillo of Morena. So they are arguing there must be a recount of some special zones will they detect there were irregularities.
Okay, so with that, I know most of our viewers are going to be very interested in what your feeling is with the new parties and how they're going to affect like residents and tourists, because most of our viewers aren't citizens. So are there any political, like especially with the local, how is that going to affect tourists and residents?
Well, I don't think there's going to be a drastic change, a radical change on policies on the next years, because, for example, in Puerto Vallarta, the ruling party will be, well, different, but the main policies are focused on some things of the services, public services, and that is not changing. I don't think so. But in the gubernatorial and federal election, there could be a change, because citizens are forcing more forcefulness policies against crime and corruption, and more effective strategies against poverty.
That sounds good. So that's super informative. It always is. And we were even talking before this segment, and I find it so interesting that right now we really have a president-elect, for example, and a president, and that goes for how long?
For 4 months, because the next authorities will be in charge until October the 1st. So we have now an elected president, Claudia Sheinbaum. She will be in the charge until October the 1st, the same as the new mayor, Luis Munguia of the Partido Verde, until October the 1st. And in the case of the governor, well, it depends of the final result of this election, but also will be until December the 1st.
Wow. So that's a ton of great information in a very, very short amount of time. But I really appreciate it. I know we're going to have you back in the future at some point, especially if we find out more about this recount or what's happening with local politics. But I really want to thank you for coming in. And with that, I want to say goodbye. We'll see you soon. And now next up, it's going to be Jessy with a story about a little bit of our local tourism here in Puerto Vallarta this summer.
Pues la mayoría de sus pasajeros son vía aérea y tienen que planear aquí, pues bueno, tenemos el tema el que planea.
Puerto Vallarta anticipates a hotel occupancy exceeding 70% during the summer vacation period, which starts July 16th with a focus on domestic tourism, but also welcoming visitors from cities experiencing rising temperatures. Efforts to surpass last year's rates involve participation in regional sales expos across Mexico. Connectivity from major cities like Mexico City, Tijuana, Monterrey will also be increased to accommodate the influx of visitors, including those from nearby areas facilitated by the Guadalajara-Puerto Vallarta Highway. Unlike destinations reliant solely on air travel, Puerto Vallarta benefits from both planned vacations and spontaneous weekend getaways due to its accessibility to a large population in the western region of Mexico. Thank you to Brenda Beltran for this story. So summer's definitely heating up, but our events and our tourism is definitely not cooling off in Puerto Vallarta. But at the same time, we've come to the end of the show.
We have come to the end of the show. Hopefully, you find a lot of really cool stuff, to keep you cool in this heat. like getting your information from CPS News. Next Monday, you have a date with us. Make sure to comment on your favorite stories and also comment on how do you want us to say Laura's leisure list or
Leisure. Leisure.
Help us. We'll see you next Monday. Have a great night.
Good night, everyone.
That was CPS News with Jessy and Brent. Thanks for watching and search us on YouTube.
What?